Alright, hello everybody. Welcome to 3-0 eSports Week 9 Day 2. We've got TPR versus GOO. We should be rolling straight into this pick ban here. Hopefully. DHA is going to catch up in a few minutes. Yeah. But here is the pick ban phase. I'm a little tired right now, so sorry if I'm not too energetic. Jax and Graves ban, no surprise there. Graves is one of all his best picks. Same with Jax for Prism. And the Kai'Sa against Awu. I'm surprised they went for the Kai'Sa, not the Twitch. Because if they don't ban the Twitch now, then it just gets first picked. That's going to be a pretty bad time for them. That would be a pretty big oversight. They're going to get rid of the Swain. It looks like they kind of want to bait in the Twitch almost. And with the Braum being banned as well, that means there's no great counter. Because normally the best counter to Twitch is going to be the Braum. But TPR wisely banned that away, saying that it might be a Twitch left up. But still, if they're banning out Awu's Swain, then they either want to play against it because they feel like they can shut it down, or I know White used to be on a team with Awu, so maybe he's just giving it to him for fun. I don't know. It's still a little bizarre. Most teams wouldn't do that. That's definitely his best pick. So we'll see. But Xylandis did get Alistar. It's a pretty aggressive style. So I wouldn't be surprised if Rev grabbed like a Morgana. Janna would be pretty decent as well to help protect the Twitch. And we'll see what else they end up grabbing. Looks like it's going to be the Volley Bear for Prism. That's been one of his better picks lately, has been the Volley Bear.
Hello.
Hey, we got DHA up in here. All right, cool. Yeah. All right, DHA is going to take over for a second. I got to step out, but I'll be right back.
Wait, I don't even see spectate though. You guys started without me.
Oh, we're in pick ban, so I have to wait until pick ban ends. Okay, that's fine. I can wait a few more minutes. Yeah, they had to start because White has to work in a few hours, so they couldn't really push it back any. So we had to start on time. You can just watch the stream though for now.
Yeah, I'm just getting everything ready. I don't even have anything open yet. I had to go run and change my laundry, so.
Fun.
Yeah, need to clean my room today, so.
Rooms
doing all
are
that
overrated.
fun stuff. Rooms are great.
We should just live life without rooms. It's really bizarre that they didn't ban something. I think Spike must have lagged out. But they're not dodging, so they don't seem to care a whole lot. Death Day gonna be grabbing Poppy for Orcapin. Poppy's a pretty decent pick. So I like that one.
Yeah, she's pretty strong right now. There's actually a lot of people that seem to be picking her up. I don't know, I just can't get into her. I guess my problem with her is like her ult. It's so hard to land that stupid thing unless you're
It's
just like all inning.
yeah, it's very difficult to use her ult properly. Very, very difficult. But the Mundo gonna be the answer. Also pretty strong up there. Can duel with the Poppy pretty decently.
Yeah, and generally actually wins most of the trades, at least until she gets her items, then it becomes kind of even.
Yeah. But alright. So Kennen picked up for 15. That's a little bizarre. Haven't seen him play the Kennen before. What are your thoughts on Kennen?
A champion, I really wish I could still play. But, you know, he's AP, so AP is much harder than AD.
Typically, yeah.
Yeah. But with their team, it's actually pretty good because it, like, doesn't allow them to go in at all unless they just want to get bursted. And then they have, like, the Janna to, like, disengage everything. Or the Kennen.
Yeah.
It's, like, one of those things where, like, they either have to pick somebody off and kill them or, like, be really safe about, like, what their fights are. Because they do have a lot of AoE damage on their team.
Yeah.
But as far as 15's Kennen, again, I don't know if I've seen him play either, so can't really judge it too much.
Yeah, the problem for me is you normally see Kennen with hyper aggro comps, not really as like a stay back and peel, even though his ult can definitely be used in that manner.
Oh yeah, no, it's not always like that. But their team comp can do both. Like it's heavy engage or disengage, like regardless of like what they want to do. Just because of their AoE, and then including the Janna, who's literally just like, I cuck you because you decided to start team fighting us.
Right.
So
Yeah, it's a little interesting. I like Goo's comp a little bit more. It's a little bit more well rounded. It's got a lot of really strong picks between the Alisar and the Akali and the Kindred and the Poppy.
it's more
Um,
simple picks at least. Stuff that's easier to manage. Whereas like some of the picks, at least from TPR, are like certain situations you have to look for.
yeah. But I think come mid to late game, the fights will be pretty close, possibly in the favor of GOO, because they do have two AD carries, and two tanks, and an assassin on top of all that. So as long as they're not taking bad fights, I think they'll be fine. But like you said, they really got to pick their spots. They can't just go for an all-in engage into a Kennen and a Janna and all that stuff.
It also really depends on like how strong the Kennen is. If he actually just gets totally shut down, like then it'll be a problem for them. Like then they can honestly just do like whatever they want, like at least on the side of GOO.
Yeah.
But if Kennen actually does get fed, like he's gonna be a monster, like all game. Actually, I don't even know if I've seen the Kennen Akali matchup, so I don't even know like how that goes.
Um, it's probably going to be Kennen favored for most of it, if not all of it. Because theoretically, when she goes into Shroud, he can just pop ult and she'll just die. Uh,
A world starts tomorrow. I just noticed that.
yeah, it's. I wasn't sure if it was in. Oh, it's already 9:30. Yeah, that's. The days go by too fast, my friend.
9:30. What are you talking about?
Like September 30th.
Oh, oh, okay. It's like 9:30 in the morning. What planet are you on? Like even time zone. I don't think there's a spot where it's 9:30. Yep, September 30th, which kind of sucks because that gives me one more month to be able to fix my car before the winter comes.
Well, that does sound like a little bit of a predicament. Not having a car for winter is pretty rough.
I mean, I'll like the car. There's nothing wrong with the car. The problem is the issue that's wrong with the car. I feel like if winter comes, there's no way it's surviving
Uh,
because it's. I have to have my tie rods and ball joints replaced because they're
okay.
like bad,
Yeah.
but they're like really bad. So I've been kind of putting it off for like already a couple of years. So like if it goes through like this winter, I feel like it'll probably like just bust if they ever freeze.
Yeah. What are you wanting to do for our bet?
Um, I don't really know actually. Uh oh, we have a problem here.
Kills at the end of the game. Total
Sure.
kills.
Oh, there we go. Sure. At the end of the game, what?
What do you think? 25, 30?
Yeah, let's do 25.
Let's do 27.
Sure. That seems more.
27.5.
Well, we'll do that because at least with these two teams in the last couple of games they fought, it have been kind of crazy, even though it
Yeah.
hasn't been against them. Yeah, there's been a few places that have already snowed.
Already? Good lord.
$600.
And a pause.
I may have to leave in like 3 minutes for a split second because I do have a pizza in the oven. So.
Okay.
We'll both be gone, and then the stream can just watch by itself.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're gonna go now?
No, my stomach is feeling better.
Okay.
It comes and goes.
Sorry, you went in your pants. Well. By the way, do we know when Tits will be coming back? Oh, there's a pause right away.
Yeah, there is a pause.
Kind of went to the bathroom, I guess.
How many weeks has it been gone? 2? One and a half, 2?
About, I think it's been more than that, actually. Haven't I been
No, since he actually shipped off.
Oh yeah, probably at least.
It's been 1.5 or 2 weeks. He's basic is
He's
like
been...
10 weeks for him. He won't be back by when the season ends. He'll be back before next season though. If he can even.
I wasn't sure. Like, I just wasn't sure like how long his basic was.
Yeah, it's 10 weeks. So.
Yeah, because I know my. I wonder if he ever ran into my buddy, but my buddy actually went down to the same place he went to.
Oh, nifty.
Except he only went for like a few days. It was about a week that he went down for. But this is his like second time going down there, so.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Let's see. Trying to figure out what time I have to be there for. Let's see, 57. 57 plus 18. I can't open the calculator. What's that, 15? So I actually have to go out there now. So I'll go check on my pizza. Be right back.
All right. Hopefully it's a good pizza. Yep, yeah. All right. Game's probably... Oh, God. I can't hear myself. And his mic. Maybe not anymore? Okay, cool. The game's probably going to be a pretty pretty slow pace. Maybe a little bit of action in the mid lane for the first 5 or 10 minutes here while the teams are just farming up to get to their scaling points. Just kind of standard. That's how it usually goes. The odds for roulette are currently at like 40%. They're not supposed to be in your favor. It's supposed to be gambling. Yeah, but we're going to see a little bit of fight around the Scuttle Crab. We are seeing actually a 3-man conversion from Goo Factory, as 15 didn't feel like rotating over. Orcapin was able to get a good trade versus Mundo. So that is going to go over to the Kindred. She also does have her stack on the bottom side. If she wants to head down there immediately, get both Scuttles, and get herself her first stack, that'll be pretty good. 15, though, taking a lot of damage from White. Not really respecting the range of Akali. Because her Q does have actually pretty decent range, and will chunk you out pretty early on, so...
I'm back.
Welcome back, sir.
Did you hear my chair when I was scooting forward?
A little bit.
I don't know what's up with it, but I guess something like the spring or something is a little rusty. I was like scooting forward, like...
Sounds like a blast.
Yeah, it's a cheap garbage chair anyway. I do just need to get like a really good chair one of these years.
They're just so expensive. Like,
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to spend as much as a chair as I do on like a gaming console,
Yeah.
right? Like, I could buy a PlayStation for that chair.
And like I wouldn't mind getting a cheap chair, but like the problem is like there isn't really anywhere that you can go that you can test these office chairs out without buying them and then building them and then sending them back.
Yeah.
So it's like it's more of like a pain to like try to find the right office chair. Because like there are some really good cheap ones out there, like the ones that are in my manager's office. They're just like normal office chairs. They're so good. But I have no idea like what they are. They got them from like some random company.
Probably got them from some no-name Chinese company.
Yeah, whoever they order all their stuff from. I think it's the same place they order like all their store products.
Probably.
And I'm like awake but not awake.
Say what?
Like awake but not awake.
It's called a.
Like when your
Sounds
brain's
like you're in a coma.
Is that what that is?
I think so.
Because I never did look up what the definition of that is.
I mean, some people can hear things. It's like a long sleep where I don't think you're really conscious. It's
Yeah.
nothing like a coma, but that was the first thing that came to my mind.
I wonder what it's like actually, like what that actually feels like for people, like when they're actually asleep for that long.
I don't know. I wonder if it's like a restless sleep. You think you wake up, you're just exhausted. You're like, oh god,
Oh, for sure.
dreaming
yeah,
about Matthew
'cause,
McConaughey the whole time.
Dude, I would actually be, I would suffer. And be like, wake me up already! Get me out of this sleep.
All right. Well, some things worth noting right now is the CS bot lane and top lane are pretty darn big, actually.
11 and 14.
11 and 14, yeah. And they're getting a freeze down bot lane. Death Day, Zylan is going to be able to set that up. That's going to help them out quite a bit in punishing the Twitch and the Janna, who don't have any significant amount of wave clear or push potential. But Prism does find himself up against Rengar. He has a level advantage here. He could actually play this pretty aggressive, forcing the flash and a TP from Poppy.
It actually hit.
Yeah, dog.
I actually did think he was out of range of that, and it like hit last second.
Mm.
It's kind of an interesting teleport, though. I mean, I understand Mundo was on the way, but I feel like you probably didn't really need to teleport for that, especially with the Kali being there.
Yeah, Volibear had already left the fight.
Yeah, after he flashed.
So that is definitely a little interesting. He probably wanted it to at least get to lane and felt like it wasn't too bad to just go with it. Because he is in a bad spot where he needs to be able to break this this freeze that Mundo's got.
Yeah.
And if you walk to lane while there's a freeze, you're dropping down at least 10 CS. So keeping that advantage for himself is probably his prime directive right now. I love it when Mundo's just pop their ult to heal in lane.
Mm-hmm. This goes to show you, oh, this is a low cooldown, let's use it. Because it pretty much is. I mean, what is it, only like 130 level 1?
Considering it's already a quarter off cooldown, something like that. Xylanus, though, in a little bit of trouble. He's going to get slowed down. TPR doing a lot of damage to him. Now Death Day going to be able to jump out as well.
Easy Twitch.
But Xylanus is in a bad spot. No longer has even flash. Here comes the Slicing Maelstrom and first blood over for 15.
There is a 1 minute cooldown between roulettes, so you can't just like spam it.
Yeah.
Is it 1 minute or did you raise it?
It's like 30 seconds to 60, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not too long, but yeah, that way it's just not one person just spamming it like crazy. Oh, it does look like he wants to go for Death Day. He's going to get some poke off. Only having a BF sword, not too threatening right now, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it is scary, but not having his support there since he's helping out the Volibear can't really go for the kill.
Yeah, even then it's a Janna, so.
But Janna is OP.
Not for engaging and locking down a Tristana.
You ever heard of the Ares W Janna?
The what?
The Ares W Janna?
Oh, I mean, they got so hard nerfed.
You know, I remember like when that actually used to be broken. You would max W, just like half health somebody with like 1 W.
Yeah.
This is actually stupid.
Yeah.
It's a fun meta though. I like the caster meta. Wow. What? Oh, he lost. I thought he won and then gained like that many points. Holy cow.
Mm. Nope. He done diddly lost them.
Oof. I'm sad. I don't have any points anymore.
You shouldn't have taken that duel.
Well, see, I thought because, you know, the last few duels that I've actually taken, I've actually won. So I was like, yeah, maybe I'll win this. And especially since he has a lot of points. Yeah, no.
No.
Didn't happen.
I'm actually surprised at how passively Orcapin is playing this lane. Because there's been several times the Spike has just walked by a wall and Orcapin just does not even go for like a trade with his E or anything.
Mm-hmm.
That's where Poppy really starts to sell in these kind of situations, just being able to knock somebody into a wall. So a little sad to not see him there, but Revolutionary and gonna get pretty low, flashing away, but White's gonna jump in, trying to finish off, but he's not gonna be able to land the last of his ult. Now White also in his shroud, but 15 not gonna go for the kill. Too many people there.
I'm actually really surprised he got that blast cone off, because like I'm like at any time like he actually could have just out of that blast cone like scream over there, but
Yeah.
I guess he tried to get that little bit of damage off. Started going for that, does get over the wall and gets out. So, which is unfortunate, but at least I didn't burn any suns, so it was just Janna's flash, so that's not too terrible.
Yeah. Feels pretty decent. Kennen sitting on almost a 25 or a 20 CS lead. Helping kind of alleviate the difference in the top and the bot lane. But again, it's going to be a pretty slow and steady game for just a little while here until these 80 carries really start hitting their item breakpoints. This is when we'll probably start seeing it explode. Which, though, is walking on top of a controller. He's going to get engaged on Janet's going to try and save him up with the shield, but he's actually getting pretty low. The explosive charge. Take him low, but now Volleyball is here. Not going for the flip now that Kindred showed up as well. And just a little bit more of posturing, but nothing too major really happening.
I voted over, right? Oops.
I don't know.
I should have voted under.
It'll probably be a long game.
Yeah, especially with Volibear and Mundo. And honestly, like, their whole team, pretty much. Our whole team pretty much takes a long time to scale. But I'm actually more surprised that GOO isn't playing more aggressive. Because they have, like, such an early game lead. Not really a lead, but, like, over the champions that TPR has, like, they could easily go for more early plays.
Right. You've got a little bit of early aggression potential.
Oh, Bliss is here. What's up, Bliss? You still being toxic?
Oh, always. How many points you get for watching? 30 per 10 minutes. Unless you're subscribed, and then you get 90 per 10 minutes.
Good thing I'm subscribed. Yay!
You also get a Vel'Koz emote.
I want to alt tab, but I'm too lazy to. Oh, there you go. That thing. That, I guess, kind of Vel'Koz emote. Ooh.
Yeah, this isn't going to end up in too much. Actually, White looking like he wants to take this. I don't know. After getting so low, probably wants to dash out of there. Yeah, he's gonna skedaddle. But there's not a whole lot of Kali can really do into Kennen just because of that Slicing Maelstrom. When she does go into the Shroud, again, it's going to hit her anyways because it does just hit in an AoE, whether it can see you or not. So
Yeah. Plus, then it also does give kind of vision of wherever she is also, because she's just taking damage consistently.
yeah, a little bit of minor vision. Just enough for him to maybe be able to land his Q. I'm pretty sure his W follow into the Shroud as well.
Even if he doesn't have vision?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure, like, if you walk in a bush or Shroud or anything like that, W will still connect as long as you've got the thing on you because it's not targeted. But Rengar finding a pretty decent trade here. Gonna get a lot of damage off the flash in. The last auto attack finds himself a solo kill versus the Kennen for TPR. Now trying to set up a dragon for themselves. Having that Tristana really is good for sieges. Dragon only going to make that better.
Yeah, the explosive little bomb thing she has, pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
And does it, like, reset too after a full charge? Or is that just reset her jump?
It resets her jump. I think it might reset her Q as well. I'm not positive. We can read her tooltip though. But we're gonna see them taking down this first tower mid lane. Grouping as 5. Definitely just gonna start upping the tempo. Don't see a whole lot of teams doing this, and TPR, quite frankly, don't look like they know how to react, but Kennen is coming in on the side. We'll see if he can make it in. Slice Maelstrom in with the ult, but Poppy disengaged perfectly. Now Prism's inside on the Lamb's Respite, but he's going to go down pretty fast. Islandis able to flash away from this as well.
That was a really good Poppy ult. Like, Kennen had, like, such a good ulti on, like, their whole team, and then Poppy just knocked him so far back, and it actually ended up getting Volibear killed because he thought he was going to go in with the Kennen, and then just ended up getting singled out after Kennen got knocked out.
Yeah, he was in there by himself, and even beyond that, Kennen has a hard time engaging in this comp because there's no primary engage. Like Volibear can, but he's single target, so that's only going to help for one person. And even after that, Kindred is just going to plop down ult as long as she doesn't get immediately stunned, and that negates everything, right? Nobody's dying inside of there. You can't do a thing. You can't knock us out of here unless Janna, like, flashes in and ults or something.
Yeah, and actually, now that I think about it, Alistair can also headbutt Kennen out of the team fight, because along with Poppy, his headbutt has enough range to where it'll knock the Kennen ult out of any team fight that he goes into.
Yep, and oh, Poppy stole the blue buff.
How'd that happen?
They didn't have smite.
Oh, yeah.
They burned everything trying to get it low, so they had nothing to secure it with, so Poppy just walked up and hit it with the charge.
Oh, yeah, it's just coming up.
Yep, and now Rift Herald being started as well. Again, GOO are just starting to try and increase the tempo of this game. They are down in gold because they lost both bot and top tower on that push, but still with a pretty strong tempo lead. Hard to argue against that, even with being down in gold, so...
I was gonna say, they might have an item advantage, but it looks like actually both teams are pretty even on items as far as that goes.
Yeah, Akali does have Gunblade though, and that is a very, very strong one-item power spike. Now we get to see him pushing up onto a tier 2 with the Rift Herald. White's gonna try and defend this mid.
And honestly, out of the three, I think Gunblade's the strongest from Proto Belt and GPL.
Yeah, I mean, they're all very character reliant, but in terms of what they do for the character that they're good on, Gunblade does more for its characters than the other two do for its, except maybe GLP, because you only really even build that if you have Glacial Augment. Orcapin is in a little bit of danger, just going to use his ult, trying to dash out of here before he has to burn Flash, making it pretty decently far. And there's actually starting to bait in a fight, as now Death Day getting pretty low, needs to stay inside that Lambrecht with the flips, not going to knock him out, but Kennen with the ult into the backside, going to burn them down, finds 2 kills already. Now White not able to get anything done. Here's a triple kill for 15 and Virgin, as they catch GOO trying to save a teammate.
And unfortunately, while he did save himself, he kind of wasted the only thing that could really keep the Kennen out. And then Kennen held the ult the entire time Kindred used hers, so just waited until after the Kindred ult came. Even though he got knocked out by Alistair, he still held on to it, and then used it like right at the very end. Just slicing through like the entire team, and then the rest of the team just kind of cleaned up.
Yeah, and Death Day got really, really low right before that fight started. I'm not sure what brought Death Day so low, but that was actually another thing that played into that fight, was because Allaho Rengar had to burn his ult to try and save Death Day, which meant when Kennen went in, there was nothing to save the whole team. So, very, very well played there from the Kennen.
I think Twitch was getting on the Triss there when he ulted, because he did ult early.
He did. It might have given him enough range. I'm not sure. Did it? Yep. Okay. Yeah. My eyes were still on the Poppy. Triss must have stepped up just a little bit too far.
Yeah, she was like hanging around the outside of like the blue wall.
Yeah.
Like in River. I think he was autoing over it.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't ban the Twitch. They banned the Kai'Sa and the Swain. The Swain really confused me, because he plays the Swain. I wouldn't say it's been fantastic.
Like, no offense, but I think the last time we did see him play Swain, it was actually pretty awful.
I don't know about pretty awful, but he's just never able to get anything done on the Swain. Like, whenever he plays it, he does fall behind in CS. He maybe gets a couple kills, but he never controls the game with it, to the point where I feel like you kind of want him on the Swain over something like the Twitch, where he's just going to... You know, he's going to be a little bit behind his CS, sure, but he's going to position, he's going to pop up behind you and just one-shot you.
Yeah, and teams generally are able to manage the Swain much more than a Twitch.
Yep, and he's going to find his way onto Orcapin, but that's a pretty fast Poppy. Wisely going for the Mercury Treads. I do see a lot of people going for Tobbies these days, when there's sometimes where you just, oh god, no! Oh, that's rough.
Wait, what happened?
Xylandis flashed in to get a headbutt pulverize onto Prism, but missed the pulverize, so he just flash headbutted the Volibear towards his base. That's rough.
It is rough, but it is one of the hardest combos that Alistair probably has, is the extended flash W, or the extended flash headbutt.
Yeah.
Generally, flash pulverize is what most people do. Headbutt pulverize is much harder to do, at least when you flash.
Yeah. It's just kind of hard to gauge the distance and the speed there.
Yeah. I rarely even get it sometimes, and I have like over 100k on Alistair, so...
My problem when playing Alistar is I feel like his moves should be reversed. I feel like... So I'm pretty sure Headbutt is his W, right? And Pulverize is his Q?
Yeah.
I feel like Headbutt should be his Q and Pulverize should be his W. So whenever I play him, I do the moves in that order. And it's just like, I get the time. I have the timing down. It's just half the time I'm just like, oh, I got a Headbutt Pulverize, and I just do it in the wrong order. I'm like, oh, God.
I feel like that would be so bad, though.
It's so tilting. Oh, it's awful, yeah, because you just pulverize in place and then headbutt them away. It's just like, Jesus Christ. It's like
I did it!
It's like, yeah, but White going a little bit deep, getting pretty low, 15, gonna be able to burn him down. Now Awu's also found his way onto Xylanda's, gonna get headbutted out of there.
Yeah, I actually thought he almost had that 1v2. He was actually doing pretty good, and then all of a sudden, Kali able to get that slight out of vision, or not Kali, Kennen, and then just kind of turned it around because he didn't have vision in the bush.
Yeah. Kennen can go invisible too.
Technically. He turns into a little spark of light.
Look, if you don't like a Kali Shroud, just play around bushes.
Yep. But
and then they'll shroud inside the bush.
Yeah, and then her shroud will go along the whole length of the wall because, you know, that's just how her shroud works, I guess.
Yeah. They should make it so that when her shroud hits a bush, it permanently gets placed inside the bush.
That would actually be kind of cool.
It's permanently, so whenever she walks in the bush, you can just never see her. She'll just stand in there like Teemo.
Yeah. Even though you know the Teemo's there, and then any percent of the time when Teemos still think that they're going to get away with it, they just get killed by everything. They try to survive just sitting in the bush.
Yeah.
I will say probably my funnest moments with bushes are like top and bot bushes. When you get that one time, like when teams don't have any wards to place and they're like running back and forth trying to get you, and you just like wait for them to go in the other bush and then walk back, and they just can't see you. I've had so many fights last for so long, especially in the top bush.
Yeah, oh, Revdo stepping up for a ward.
Yeah, unfortunately, none of his team was around, and their whole Goose side team was right there.
Yep. Yeah, probably thought that they were safe since it's Tristana's bot. It's like, oh yeah, we're good to start trying to make a vision play, but nope. Doesn't work out that way.
Yeah.
GOO need to send somebody top to catch that wave. Honestly, they should have a while ago.
Yeah, and they actually still have quite a wave starting bot lane, too. I think that will actually start pushing in TPR's favor eventually.
Yeah, Yeah, it's going to kill the cannon first, and they've still got a melee, so that will actually start pushing back into GOO, which is actually pretty decent for GOO, because they were able to stop some pressure on that turret for the time being, but they're also not giving CS over to TPR because TPR's wave is going to push back into them. So it's actually a decent starvation of resources, while still saving them just a little bit of pressure on their map.
Yeah, as long as they're managing it. You know, if they're just letting it go, then it's just giving pressure over to TPR, because then TPR can use those.
Yeah. Yeah, and it is slowly starting to push back into GOO. But it is a...
Say what? Baron actually is doing no damage to Mundo.
Yeah.
I think I outed him like 4 times, and that's all the health it took.
I mean, he's got Randuin's and Sunfire already. And most of Baron's damage is physical, so like... This Mundo is going to be very hard to kill. There's not a whole lot of magic damage on the side of GOO. And most of that's upfront burst from the Akali, so really not applicable.
Yeah, burst really doesn't do too much, especially when it's a Mundo. Once he gets his HP, like, it doesn't even... Honestly, it probably wouldn't even matter if he didn't have MR. He would probably still survive most of the burst.
Yeah.
Just because of all the HP that he has.
They've got a controller in that bush.
Yeah, and Kennen did auto
I don't...
it.
Yeah,
so, like,
I feel like you would kill it Pretend like you're walking away and then walk back into the bush. Instead of just standing
Yeah,
on it.
autoing it that one time after they knew the ward was
It
there,
did.
pretty much just
It
gave
ruined it.
vision of it.
Yeah.
Because when you auto wards, it actually gives vision.
Yeah, it gives it gives a little bit of AoE vision, right?
Yeah.
Not
Like
it's not that
whoever's
it
on
just
the ward.
shows who's auto tagging. It gives like a small AoE.
Yeah, of whoever's on the ward.
Yeah. But Baron is gonna be started here. No vision for GOO. And with the Mundo holding up fort in the mid lane, they're going to have a hard time getting over there, but Alha Rengar is running over. We'll see if he's able to make it there in time. Needs to just go for it. It's getting pretty low. Is he going to be able to get over? The Janna ult's been used a little bit early, but he's got to go. But he's not going to make it in time as Prism's going to secure that Baron.
I'm surprised they're not fighting that.
Yeah, they're going to try going in now. Rengar is getting pretty low, but already used the Lamb's Respite. This is actually looking like a pretty decent fight for GOO now as Akali's in the backside, able to pick up the Janna. Rengar is going to get taken down by 15 now, but they should be able to start finishing up the rest of GOO as Awu's still alive, coming back up onto White. He might try and dash out of here, but too much damage from the Twitch. And TPR going to be able to pick up 4 kills and a Baron for themselves.
I was actually thinking with just Mundo there, he might actually be able to get out. I didn't realize Twitch was on him too, and I just saw 2 autos. Oh, his HP is gone.
Yeah.
So, Twitch got the 2 items he needs. Rapid Fire, Storm Razor.
Yeah, and I'm kind of wishing that Rengar right now would just sell that refillable potion and buy a control ward, because there's no reason to have that refillable potion at this point in the game. Being able to regen 125 health over 10 seconds, not useful 30 minutes in, whereas he could get some control wards. And if he had a control ward, he'd be able to place that in the pit in that scenario and possibly get the flash over in time to be able to steal the Baron instead of trying to go in blind.
He still flash over in time, but I don't know.
It was in time, but still late, because he flashed over right as it got smite, right? So if he had vision, he'd maybe be able to time that a little bit better and have an idea of like when Prism was going to smite, so that he could try and get the jump on it. But yeah, looking a little bit rough.
Yeah, with the Baron now, they should be able to start pushing. Although it's kind of interesting, they just backed off. I guess they're just looking to reset and get whatever items they need to buy still.
Yeah.
Actually, kind of more surprised that Mundo's going for the Thornmail right away over finishing whatever his Spectres was going to build into.
I mean, Akali's doing no damage to him, and again, being the only source of magic damage, he doesn't need to get any more MR than just that. Visage would be cool, sure, to be able to stop not stop it, like, get an extra 20% healing. Is it 20 or 30% from Visage? I actually think it's 30% nowadays.
Yeah,
I think they buffed it.
It's 30.
Right, so he'd get a significant amount of healing.
He's had it for quite a while though. Those Spectres.
Yeah, but he just doesn't need to finish it, right? The Thornmail is gonna be turning an okay amount of damage because there's 2 80 carries, but also because they've got Fleet Footwork on the Tristana, and Kindred heals passively off of her W, I believe, in a similar manner to how Fleet Footwork works. And she's building towards a Blade of the Rune King. It's going to be a pretty efficient item for him to get right now.
She heals passively, but not very much. It's like a very, very small amount.
It's similar in function to how Fleet Footwork works, where like it stacks up the more you move and over time.
Yeah.
And then it heals, and it can be a decent chunk, especially at this level. But she is going Blade of the Rune King now, so yeah, Thornmail here is a pretty good idea, though.
That's one thing about Kennen. Think you get him?
No, he just slips away. But TPR doing a very good job of actually splitting up GOO right now. And they have both teleports, so they can actually afford to do this. We see a lot of teams split up when they don't have teleport or their waves aren't, in sync with each other. But
yeah, and they're actually doing really well with this. They have Kennen going mid, and he's actually rotating to top if they ever see the team, except now he's actually a little far.
Yeah, a little far,
but off. Alistair wasn't able to get in range.
Still gonna back off. I'm surprised they're not going aggressive on this bot lane tower. Just the Kindred and Akali really can't do a whole lot of work, especially because of the Janna.
Yeah, they probably just feel they're not going to be able to burst the Kindred fast enough to be able to stop her from ulting, so it's probably just not worth.
Yeah. And they don't have Baron anymore either.
Because they really don't have any hard CC to stop her other than the Janna. I guess Volibear, but Kennen, he has to land either his ult or 3 procs, which is pretty hard.
Yeah.
At least when you're sieging the inhibs.
And Zylan is trying to get something started, but just going to get halved right away.
Yeah, no MR yet. So right now he pretty much is just going for the Knight's Vow, probably for the Tristana to try to give her that little bit of extra resistance. But not having any MR kind of makes him struggle versus the Kennen.
Yeah. Yeah, and speaking of MR versus the Kennen, Orgapen did decide to go for Visage. Typically not the best of MR items for Poppy because she doesn't have any innate healing. It's all in the grasp, and even then, it's pretty minimal. And it does have slightly higher base stats than something like an Adaptive Foam. But against a Kennen and a Mundo, whose magic damage are going to be very fast recurring, the Adaptive Foam would do a lot of work here for mitigating damage that the Visage just straight up isn't going to do for him at all.
Yeah. Which I will say, until you really get used to like what all 3 items actually do, it is kind of hard to really decide which ones you want. So probably the only one that's like really guaranteed to know which one you want is Abyssal Mask, because obviously you're only going to get that if you want like your mages to deal more damage, and then also on top of that give you the MR and regen.
Yeah.
But
I'd say usually for me it's, do I have magic damage? Cool. Do I have mana to regen off of? Cool. And then it's like, okay, I can at least start there. If the enemy team doesn't have anything like recurring and I don't have healing, then it's like, okay, well, Abyssal Mask is like the last option. But I guess even that breakdown still requires knowledge of how the other ones function.
yeah.
Are possibly going to see another fight, though, coming in as Prism's already rushing into the backline. Bernie's so low, not even going to be able to heal up off of his passive. Now Spike also taking quite a bit of damage with Xylanus into the backside. Nice headbutt's going to be able to get Awu out. 15 still holding onto his ult, waiting for his moment to go in, but they're just going to be able to force down this inhib even after losing Prism.
Yeah, it was a little interesting there. He really didn't have anything to go off of, and Kennen is really kind of just holding his ult for whatever Kindred ults, so he can use it afterwards. But even Kindred was actually holding on to his ult the entire time. So
yeah,
it's actually kind of funny. Like that's one thing that's actually kind of cool about like these 2 characters when they play against each other. Like Kennen actually...
Yeah, he's going to get hit up. Probably going to have to use his ult in defense, but it's not even coming out quite yet. He's getting really low. Going to be forced to flash away, but Orkman's going to be able to get in, get the hammer shock, find himself a kill. TPR just kind of dropping the ball right now.
Yeah, little overstep. Actually, overstay, rather. Instead of overstep.
Yeah, it was an overstep and then 2 overstays. Give it a
Probably
couple kills
just
over to
backed off
TPR.
after the Volibear died.
Yeah.
But yeah, it actually is kind of fun watching both Kindred and Kennen play against each other, because Kindred has to save her ult for whenever Kennen comes in, but then Kennen has to save his ult for whenever Kindred uses her ult.
Yeah.
So it's like it's almost kind of like the banner and minion dematerializer meta. Like, when you literally would just only use the minion dematerializers on the banners, but like at the same time you have to hold them until that point.
Right.
So it's really going to be a matter of like who uses theirs first to really determine like who actually wins the fight. Especially if they're not willing to give all their trust in Poppy landing her ult. So, which is much harder to land.
Yeah, for sure. It's not easy to land. If they're all powered on top of you, it's pretty decent, but typically you're also going to get hit by CC. So she does have to kind of wait until she gets stunned by Kennen before she can start charging it. Or stay outside of its range the whole time, which can be difficult as well.
Yeah, especially since he comes flying in so fast with the speed that he has and Proto Build now, so...
Yeah. I'm a little surprised people don't play like Predator Kennen to get in really fast.
Yeah, actually, I never did think about that.
Because I feel like that could be pretty decent.
Are people actually going to phase rush on him too, though? I guess I don't even know like what people are going on, kind of. I haven't even looked up.
Yeah, phase rush is pretty good for once you get in, because then you get all that movement speed and it's pretty crazy. Spike is literally just gonna out heal all that damage, and with Rengar B down here, that gives a free Baron over to TPRs. They're gonna go in onto that, and the Kennen ultimate
Kenan's not
mixed
there.
with the stopwatch. He's going to get pretty low, though. Does get killed, but Orcam is able to go into the Baron Pit and start doing havoc onto Revolutionary. Going to get hit
now
out
he's
by the
alone.
ult as well, but he's getting pretty low. Trying to run away. Now
Baron is
Spike's
still
here.
hitting
Spike doesn't
people.
have ult, which means this fight might go pretty good if Deathday can find some damage onto Revolutionary. And here comes the Lamb's Respite as well. Deathday going to try and get onto
They're
the Twitch,
so
but they're still
low.
going to go down. The damage from Awu as he kite it back, gets himself a triple kill. And now with top inhib down, they should be able to just go there and finish the game.
Yeah, and that's where you see all those pings there. It looks like they are just trying to kind of run it down top. So with that big wave, they should just be able to end. It was kind of unfortunate. They were actually still fighting while the Baron was aggroed, and nobody ever actually stopped the aggro from Baron. So actually, Poppy took quite a bit of damage just from the Baron while he was fighting, even when they were all kind of fighting outside of the pit. It was still autoing just over that wall.
Yeah.
So taking the Baron damage along with the team, like she really didn't have like any resistance at all.
Yeah, and then even beyond just that, Tristana decided to go for a Blade of the Rune King instead of building some armor pen.
No!
And what do you know? It's 27 kills flat.
No!
We're under.
No!
The only person that voted just lost all their points.
No!
Oh, I need to swap overlays. There we go.
I was sad.
All right, let's go ahead and take a quick look at some deets here. Good damage numbers coming out from most of TPR. Actually surprised at how much Mundo did.
Yeah, because he really was not in a lot of those fights. Most of the stuff that he was doing, like, it was just kind of throwing cleavers or even splitting. There was only maybe a couple fights he was actually in. But it was honestly, I'm actually surprised how little that Twitch did, because there were actually quite a few fights that he actually got some good ults off.
Yeah, I can only really think of one or two where I felt like he really had a big impact, that last one, and then the other fight around the Baron Pit. But what are you thinking for MVP?
Honestly, probably 15.
Probably.
Like his ults, like being able to actually have the patience to hold on to your ult that long until Kindred actually uses hers is really good. And then the ults that he actually did get off, pretty much chugged all of GOO when they were off. So I think he did good.
Yeah, I agree. I think he played the fights really well. The rest of the team didn't do bad, but I also didn't feel like they were having quite the same like top-notch impact that 15 was.
There really wasn't. I mean, while they did play well, it was more macro play that they were doing. There really wasn't many like team play that they were doing that actually made anybody stand out. So, other than the few team fights. But while we're getting set up, go grab me some last few pieces of my pizza.
Sounds good.
Some soda. So I'll be right back.
On hit Mundo, Rageblade Borg. I agree.
Yeah.
Welcome back, sir. What kind of pizza did you make, anyways?
What's it?
What kind of pizza did you make?
Supreme.
What brand?
I think Jax.
I don't think I've ever heard of them.
Really? Surprised. They're actually pretty big.
Oh, they're
At
pretty
least
big.
in terms of like, at least in terms of fake pizzas.
Yeah.
Because you know, like the fake make yourself stuff. Unless you got different stuff out where you are.
And we got like